everybody, I'm here with my March wrap-up. I did not do very good this month because I was in a bad reading slump, and my ratings are all over the place. I mean, all over the place. I read 5 books, and out of those 5 books, everything is like different. The one was 2.5, well actually 2. I put 2.5 here, but I actually put 2 in the book. So one was a 2-star, one was a 3-star, one was a 4.5, one was a 5, and one was a favorite of the year. One of my favorites of the year. So with those 5 books, I read a total of 1,723 pages. Okay, we're going to start, like usual, from the worst to the best, and yeah. And if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Lori. And welcome to March Wrap-Up. First book, that's a 2-star. And at first I was going to give it a 3-star, and then I was, but then I was going to give it a 2.5, but then I decided on a 2. So that's, and the first 2 are from Buzzwordathon, that Books with Lala does. And yeah. So, which was who, what, where, when, why, and how. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Those were the, had to have one of those 6 words in the title. So I have 2. I have What We Buried, and then the other one I'll talk about. And unfortunately, both of the ones I picked for Buzzwordathon were my least favorite. So What We Buried, it just frustrated me. Frustrated me to no end. That's all I'm going to say. I was just so confused. On both of these books, it was confusing. And yeah, this one... Okay, I thought it was like she wanted to get, her brother from her parents, but it wasn't that. She didn't want to be with her parents anymore. She wanted to live on her own. She wanted emancipation, or whatever that word is called. And what happened was, when she goes to the, to court, the parents just disappear. Just disappear. Now this may be a little bit spoilery, but not super spoilery, but just so just, I don't know. If you think that it might be a spoiler as I get ready to start talking, then just silence it the rest of the way so you won't be completely spoiled. But what happens was the parents disappear, which isn't a spoiler because it says it here, but they go on this road trip and all this weird stuff happens. Like there's this incident where they're on the, on the road, and like a cat comes out of nowhere or something like that, and its face is all mangled and everything. It's really creepy. But yeah, it's like them trying to find where their mother and father went. And it was one of those books that I wasn't sure, like, what was going on. I can't tell you what it was, or it would definitely be a spoiler, but I just didn't understand the ending. And I was so frustrated throughout the whole book because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I really didn't like any of the characters. The only reason why I read it is because, it was for Buzzwordathon, and plus I just wanted to see how it ended. But it was just too confusing for my brain, and I just didn't understand the ending. I didn't know, what we were supposed to get from the ending. I would tell you more, but then I would spoil it for you. But yeah, it just was, everything was just too confusing, which is really sad, because look at this cover. How intriguing. And then when you turn it over, it's the boy. I mean, it's so intriguing, but it just was not a good book to me, which was really sad. And at first I was like, okay, well, I read it, so it should at least get 3 stars. And I was like, no. I'm not going to do that because I did not like the book. It made me, really, uncomfortable and stuff. This wasn't, my first book of the month either. This was, one of my last books. So it kind of, this is my 3rd to last book, I believe. Or my 2nd to last. No, it was my 2nd book, I believe. 2nd or 3rd book that I read for the month. And, yeah, it just, put me into a slump. Really bad. And then I got into a good slump with you'll see what was my favorite of the year. So one of my favorites of the year, but I got into a back into a good place reading that one. And then the book that I'm going to talk about now put me back into a reading slump, but I never finished anymore after that this month. And that is When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry. And this one, at first, I gave it 3 stars. I was going to give it 4 stars. I mean, I even have it like, I don't know if you can see on here. But it was supposed to be 4 stars, and then I moved it and put a 3 there. This one, I was like, okay, this one is confusing too, but it ain't as bad as What We Buried. So I was like, okay, I think since I read it and it was pretty intriguing that I would give it 4. But then when I was thinking about it, I was like, no. I didn't understand. It was another one of those that I didn't understand what we were supposed to get from the ending. I mean, I could be right about what happened at the end, but I could be wrong. So it was just like, what you call it? But anyways, there was an explosion, and her brother was hurt and put in a coma, and some other people, like some people were killed, and other people were, whatever. But anyways, they start this thing where they go and investigate things. So they're at this house investigating. They see something crash, and they think it's a flying saucer or whatever you want to call it, And they go investigate, and then they pass out. When they go investigate, the one brother of the main girl, he touched something, and then she was trying to stop him, and it was like a effect, so everybody got affected that was with them. And yeah, and it was just strange things happened after that. And you're trying to figure out if it's aliens, if it's something else, you know. So yeah, it was another one of those ones that were like, oh my gosh, what the heck? What am I supposed to know? I mean, what happened at the end? Like, is it this or is it that? You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it wasn't awful. Don't get me wrong. It's something I don't think I would reread though. I know this one I definitely wouldn't reread. This one I probably wouldn't reread. And both of these were, like I said, for Buzzwordathon. So out of the two, of course, this one was a lot better. The next one was so good, you guys. This is the only one I managed to read for middle grade March. For some reason, I couldn't get into middle grade books that I tried picking this month. But this one was just so good. Like, I have the second one now. And this one is Ice Age. It's the Elemental series by Amy Kaufman. This is so good. The brother and sister are twins, and when you're in a family, you're not supposed to, like, you're either supposed to be a wolf or you're supposed to be a, what did I just say? Or a dragon. And he's a wolf. I believe that's what he was. Yeah, he's a wolf, and he finds out that his sister's a dragon, and she's taken, and he thinks that she was taken because, they were going to hurt her or something. So you got to find out, is he right or, oop. Oh, we lost power. Fun. We lost power. Luckily, my phone still has some time on it. So it's going to be dark while I'm doing this, you guys. We lost power. But anyways, yeah, it was really good. It ended in a little bit of a cliffhanger, but not too bad of a cliffhanger that you don't know what's going on. But this was fun. This was a really fun book. And like I said, I have Scorched Dragons. So yeah. Okay, now we're on to my 5-star read, which is Nora Roberts' Year 1. This is about a disease, and a whole bunch of people just die, and the people that don't die, like, some of them get, different powers and things like that. So yeah, that's what this is about. Them having different powers and what happens, and some parts were so sad. There is trigger warnings in here for, they don't really, go into the rape, but they talk about, a character's mom that was raped by these guys that were, cray-cray. And, yeah. And there's some for people, somebody does commit suicide. There's some that thinking about committing suicide, so there's trigger warnings for that. It's a very, very violent book. I mean, there's deaths in here. There's, you know, like people being hurt real bad, shot and everything. So yeah, but it was so good. It just kept me really, really entertained. I mean, I enjoyed it so much. It was a fun read. Oh, well, I shouldn't say it was a fun read. It was very violent, but it was a good read. It definitely like kept me where I wanted to keep reading to see what would happen next. Even though it was a reread for me, because this is a reread. I think the first time I read it, I gave it like a 4-star, so it went up. Because I remembered a lot more, you know, I forgot a lot of things. And the first time there was a couple things that kind of went over my head, but this time I really understood what was going on a lot more. The only thing that kept this from being like a 6-star is the cliffhanger. And something that happened to a certain character. And that's the only 2 reasons why it wasn't a 6-star read. And the last one, it was my favorite of the year. And you guys already know I've been talking about it. It's Unwind by Neil Schusterman. And as you know, this is where they're, between the ages of, I believe it's 13 and 18, they can be, what is like their parts of their body can be harvested to other, or given to other people. So they're basically put under, die, die, and then their body parts can go to somebody else that like maybe needs a part of the brain, or needs an arm, or needs an eye, so on. And these 2, the oldest 2, which is, I can't remember their name, and it's dark in here, so I can't read it. Connor and Rissa. They're the ones that don't want this to happen to them. They don't want to be, die, be taken off, killed and stuff like that. Like the yeah. And there's the other one. His name is Leave. I can't remember what it's called, but he knew that that's what he was born for, was to be a if I can find what it is. Is it called a thief or a thief? Thief or thief? It's T-I-T-H-E, I believe. But he's raised to be one of those, which is like I said, they know that's their main purpose in life, is to be born, and then when they're of age, to be given their parts given to other people, and they think it's, like it's a good thing. And something happens, and they all 3 of them get together for a while, and then something happens, and they separate, and it's just their whole, like, everything that happens to them after they get away. And Levi finding out, basically, if this is what he wants. Like, is this really an honor to be a thief? Thief, however you say it. And yeah. And I will tell you that Connor and Levi had the most, like, growth in here. Like, they're, they're, I'm not saying that Rissa wasn't, like, a good character, because she is, but I just felt like the other 2, like, things that happened to him, even though there was bad things that happened to Rissa too, but I think more bad stuff especially happens to Connor. Yeah, it's a real good book, though. I mean, oh my gosh. And I liked the way it ended. It ended like you want to read the next one, but it also ended in a way where if you didn't have the next one, you can be satisfied until you could get the next one. As for right now, things are okay. But I do have the other 3, if you guys know. I've been talking about nonstop, so I do have the other 3, so I'm going to be reading those soon. But yeah, this one, oh my gosh, it had to be. And you guys know me. Neil Schusterman is like my favorite guy author. After him and Jay Kristoff are my top 2 guy authors. So yeah, I just love this one. Oh gosh. There was a lot of violence in it. There is attempted rape in this one as well. And there's a lot of injuries that happen. A lot of people get hurt or die. But that's what happens when it's an Unwind. Because that's what happens if you actually get Unwind, is that you're gonna die in certain parts. And there was this interesting guy, I can't remember his name right now. I know he's called T something, and he was interesting. He was not a scythe or a Unwind. He was one of the people that got like one of the Unwinds, like something of the Unwind. So yeah, and you find out things about what happens when you are the one that gets that part of the person that was Unwind. So yeah, it was very interesting. And then there's the jerk guy, I can't remember his name right now, and talks about what happens with him. And yeah, a lot of stuff goes down in this book. A lot of stuff, but it kept me like going from the very beginning to the very end. I mean, it was non-stop, like, oh my gosh, I gotta keep reading to see what happens next. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading Unholy, I think is the next one. Unholy, something like that. I'm gonna be reading that probably sometime this coming week. Yeah, but yeah, I really love this. It was so good, and I'm hoping the rest of the series is just as good. And that was it. Those were the 5 books I read this month. Yay! And that's it. I'm going to let you guys go because I don't have no light. Yeah, fun, right? What happens when you're videoing? But yes, if you guys like this video, let me know what your favorite book of the month was and least favorite book of the month, how many books you read. Yeah, and if you already did your wrap up, list it down below. Let me know, and I'll go to your website, your YouTube channel, and watch it. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a great day. And remember, if you like this video, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing to the channel. And if you do, remember, hit that bell icon so you'll know whenever a video like this is up on my channel. And remember, if you ever need me, just comment down below and I'll get right back to you. I love you guys all, and you guys are the best. Lori out.